What if I told you the biggest weight loss secret can't be found in a gym, or on your plate, or in a pill, but in your morning cup of coffee? Sounds almost too simple, doesn't it? That's what I thought too. But sometimes, the biggest breakthroughs come from the simplest ideas. Just ask Tina, a 45-year-old accountant who had struggled with her weight her entire adult life. Tina had resigned herself to being the heavy girl among her friends. Then she discovered this 3-second morning coffee trick that you're about to discover in this video. Now she's down 29 pounds and 4 dress sizes. Now Tina's transformation is remarkable, but it's not unique.
I used to think losing weight was going to be a long, hard battle, but this has been a total game changer for me. It's amazing how something so simple as my morning coffee could make such a massive difference.
These were my dream pants for years, and look, now they fit perfectly after losing 7 inches off my waist.
My doctor was completely stunned by the results. I've lost 45 pounds in less than a few months, and my blood work is better than it ever has been.
My energy is through the roof, my cravings are under control, and I feel stronger and healthier than ever. This has transformed not just my body, but also my entire life.
And I can't believe how fast it's happening. I already dropped 30 pounds, 3 pen sizes, and I feel like a completely different person.
Hi, I'm Matthew Miller, and these are just some of the success stories we receive every week from people who have found this video before you and put what you're about to see to good use. In the next 7 minutes, I'm going to show you the same morning coffee trick these folks used that will activate a dormant metabolic pathway in your body, igniting your metabolism within seconds, turning your body into a fat melting machine for the rest of the day. And all it takes is a simple 3-second tweak to your morning coffee. It doesn't matter if you take your coffee black with cream or with sugar. It doesn't matter if you prefer dark roast or light roast, if you brew your coffee at home or grab a coffee to go from Dunkin' or Starbucks. As long as you add this one natural ingredient to your morning coffee, you can torch as much fat from problem areas like your hips, butt, belly, back, underarms, and thighs as you want. Imagine waking up every morning, looking in the mirror, and seeing a slimmer, more energetic version of yourself staring back. Imagine fitting into clothes you haven't worn in years. Imagine finally feeling confident and comfortable in your own skin. Now, imagine achieving all of this with a simple tweak to your morning coffee routine. Sounds too good to be true? I didn't believe it at first either. But when I saw the mountains of scientific evidence, when I witnessed the transformations of thousands of people, when I tried it for myself and watched as 30 pounds melted off my body like butter in a hot pan, felt a surge of sustained energy and focus throughout my days, noticed a positive impact on my mood, my appearance, my memory, even my blood sugar and cholesterol. I knew this coffee trick was the real deal. It doesn't matter if you're 25 or 65, if you want to lose 10 pounds or 100 pounds, if you've always had a slow metabolism, or if you've tried every diet, boot camp, or supplement under the sun. If you ask the countless thousands of men and women who were lucky enough to find this video, they will all tell you the same thing. This is entirely possible for you, just like it was possible for them. So I need you to listen carefully and do 2 important things. The first is to watch the rest of this video. The second is putting everything I show you into play for your own life. So close the door, turn off the TV, put your phone on Do Not Disturb, stay with me for the next 7 minutes, because in the next 7 minutes, I'm going to break down exactly how this works. I've gathered all the studies so you don't have to. I'll show you the science behind all of this, the studies that prove its effectiveness, and how you can start using this coffee trick today to transform your body and your life in the easiest, fastest, and safest way possible in 2024. And the best part? How much you lose is up to you, because you'll be in control. But not only will you be in control of how much weight you'll lose, you'll also be in control of what you eat. And when it comes to eating, you'll be able to eat pretty much anything you want. So if you're like most folks who struggle with their weight, who have been failed by the diets, the teas, the pills, the workouts, rest assured that what you're about to see is completely different. This isn't some new fad diet or trendy workout plan. This is a revolutionary discovery based on cutting-edge research into how our bodies really burn fat, and it all starts with your morning coffee. Allow me to reintroduce myself. Hi, Matthew Miller. Maybe you've seen me on TV. Maybe you've read a few of my articles in Forbes and the Food Network, or heard me guest speak on the biggest health and fitness podcasts in the world. But in case you don't know me or follow my work, you deserve to know more about my background. You see, I've dedicated nearly a quarter of my life to researching metabolic disorders at leading institutions across the world. And I've been recognized among my incredibly talented colleagues as one of the key thought leaders and experts on metabolism and weight loss working in our field today. Not because of the multiple doctorates I hold in biochemistry, kinesthesiology, and nutrition, or the industry-altering research papers I've published in peer-reviewed journals, or my tenure as the head of the Metabolic Research Center at Stanford University. And it has nothing to do with my frequent appearances on medical panels and health podcasts, or the countless athletes and celebrities you yourself have probably seen on your TV at one point or another who have relied on my expertise to overcome seemingly impossible weight loss plateaus. But it's largely due in part to the hundreds of thousands of everyday men and women whose lives have been transformed by the science-backed weight loss strategies I've developed, all of which are easy to find and verify through numerous citations in scientific journals and health publications. Now, I'm not sharing this to impress you, but rather to give you peace of mind and tell you that if you've been working hard to live healthy, watching what you eat and staying active, but you're still not seeing the weight come off as you'd hoped, or even worse, if you're watching the scale creep up no matter how hard you try, rest assured you're in the right place. Because given my 23 years studying metabolic disorders, I'm uniquely positioned to shed light on why this is happening and will offer an evidence-based solution with a proven track record that will allow you to effortlessly melt fat, increase your energy, and improve your immune system without resorting to grueling exercise plans, tasteless diets, and dangerous supplements, giving you the body, the confidence, and the peace of mind you've wanted for so long, just like it's worked for thousands of people who discovered this simple yet often overlooked truth. You see, you're not alone in this struggle, and it's not your fault. The reality of the situation is successful and sustainable weight loss fundamentally boils down to one critical factor: your metabolism. Much of what you read on metabolism today is either partially correct at best or completely misguided at worst, and it's nearly impossible to distinguish between the two. Oftentimes what you'll see, and maybe you've experienced this at one point or another, is that you think you've found the absolute best way to lose weight, only to realize 30, 60, 90 days later, the number on the scale hasn't gone down. In fact, maybe it's gone up, and maybe it's gone up by 5 or 10 pounds. And you're like, I've been doing everything right. What the heck is going on? Well, the problem is, and what you have to be keenly aware of, is who you're getting this information from. Are they truly there to serve you, or are they simply taking advantage of your insecurities and profiting from your pain? Now, I come from a long line of diabetics. Obesity runs rampant in my family, as does cardiovascular disease, and I've had several close relatives sadly pass away prematurely as a result of these conditions. Even with my extensive background, I couldn't crack the code on our family's metabolic issues, and every metabolic program or pill we tried never worked. In fact, most of them introduced even more complications that had nothing to do with our genetic predisposition, which begs the question, what if the problem isn't us? What if it's our approach? Because even the most cutting-edge metabolic interventions that I was lucky enough to have access to, given my standing in the medical community, weren't enough to save my father, who sadly passed at 68, or my sister, who only lived to be 41 before she died due to heart complications as a result of being overweight. Now I have immense respect for my fellow practitioners, and I know they mean well, but when it comes to the intricacies of metabolic mechanisms, their conventional approaches fall short. What worked 10, 20, 30 years ago simply doesn't work today. Our biology has had to rapidly evolve, due in large part to our external environment. In particular, the processed foods we now have no choice but to eat on a daily basis. Despite my best efforts, I found myself 25 pounds heavier. My sister Jane, who concerned me the most. We tried it all. High-intensity workouts, weight loss boot camps, every diet under the sun, keto, paleo, Atkins. We even tried going vegan for 6 months. Nothing worked. I would go days without eating, but the weight always came back with a vengeance, because when you lean too far to one extreme, there is always an equal and opposite reaction back to the other extreme. I understand the frustration that comes with trying everything, only to see no sustainable results, watching your energy drain away, your self-esteem plummet, feeling like you're trapped in a body that no longer responds to your efforts, feeling like you're fighting a losing battle where the only thing left to do, it seems, is to just give up entirely. Because that's precisely how I felt. I've been there, staring at the mirror, ready to throw in the towel. So, believe me when I say I get it. Even with all my knowledge, I was lost until I stumbled upon this simple coffee trick I'm about to share with you right now. Because until I developed this easy morning coffee ritual, achieving meaningful and lasting weight loss and maintaining it long term was seemingly impossible. Until now. I don't want you to continue struggling as long as I did, and I don't want you to suffer the same fate as my father or my sister. So I urge you to pay very close attention to the metabolic information we're about to cover in the next few minutes, because it is absolutely critical to your fat loss success. I want you to imagine your body as a complex system, because that's precisely what it is. And within this system, there are two crucial mechanisms that determine whether you will burn fat or store fat. In other words, these mechanisms dictate whether you are lean and fit or whether you carry excess weight. The first is what we call your metabolic rate. This is the speed of your metabolism. A fast metabolic rate is what allows some lucky people the ability to eat whatever they want and instantly burn it right off without gaining an ounce. Alternatively, a slow metabolic rate is what leads to excess fat storage. Now, I want you to imagine your metabolism as a fireplace. The faster your metabolism, the hotter the fire burns. The hotter the fire burns, the more fuel it burns off. In this case, the fuel that burns is the food you eat and the fat stored in your body. When someone has a fast metabolism, their fire is always burning fuel and melting fat, and as a result, they tend to be lean and fit. Now, you might think some people are just born with this metabolic furnace while others aren't, but it's not that simple. There's more to it, and this is where it gets really interesting. You see, if we can understand how this fire works, not only can we determine the optimal way to ignite this fire, but we can also keep that fire burning hotter and longer. In other words, faster weight loss over an extended period of time, and that's what we want, because the hotter your furnace, the more fat and calories it will burn as fuel. And the more fuel it burns, the longer the fire will burn, and the longer the fire burns, the more fat that will melt off your body. But none of that is possible without understanding the second metabolic mechanism, and this is the one nearly every weight loss expert today is totally unaware of. We call it metabolic efficiency. Now, the efficiency of your metabolism determines two key things, and understanding this can change everything. You see, it's not just about having a fast metabolism, it's about having a smart metabolism, one that knows how to use what you give it. Now, your metabolic efficiency determines two things. First, it converts stored fat into fuel to be burned off. Second, it determines if the food you eat gets shuttled to the furnace to be burned for fuel, or gets sent to those hard-to-lose problem areas you want to get rid of. Now, if your metabolism is inefficient, your fat ends up being locked up tight in what we call metabolic prison. And it doesn't matter how disciplined you are with dieting or cardio. When you have an inefficient metabolism, the fat stays put. This is why you might see people who diet like crazy and exercise until they drop, still carrying a heavy amount of fat on their bodies. All that fat is locked up inside a metabolic prison, and their body simply refuses to release it. Secondly, and maybe more importantly, is that your metabolic efficiency isn't just about burning stored fat. It's also about burning the food you eat right now so you don't continue to store dangerous amounts of fat in the future. I'll give you an example to further illustrate what I mean. Let's say you go all day without eating, then you treat yourself to a slice of pizza and a salad for dinner. And since you have an inefficient metabolism, what happens is your body will still take a big chunk of that tiny meal and save it as fat instead of using it for energy. I'm sure at one point or another you've had a meal that zapped all of your energy. That's your body storing the food you ate as fat in the metabolic prison as a result of having an inefficient metabolism. But here's where it gets interesting, and pay attention because this is crucial. When your body is working properly, you can fill it up with all sorts of fuel. Pancakes, burgers, pizza, you name it. And it burns through all of it efficiently nothing gets stored as excess weight. Quite the opposite, in fact. It actually takes all of those fatty foods and converts them into fuel to be burned off by your furnace, and the faster your metabolism, the more quickly it burns off that fuel before your body even has a chance to lock it up and store it as fat. Recent studies show that a properly functioning metabolism burns fat at least 5 times more effectively than a sluggish one. It's like the difference between a roaring bonfire and a sputtering candle. The bonfire burns bigger and for longer, while the candle burns lower and is short-lived. What we have to understand is that the majority of us have inherited a slow, inefficient metabolism. In fact, studies suggest that 80% of Americans today are walking around with a slow, inefficient metabolism. For most of human history, storing fat was a survival strategy. Food was scarce, and our ancestors couldn't afford to burn it all away. They needed to store as much as possible to survive harsh conditions with no clothing. This is why our bodies are still hardwired to store fat. It's an evolutionary survival mechanism our species developed since the dawn of man. But here's where it gets interesting. Not all our ancestors were fat storers. Some were hunters. And they needed a completely different metabolic setup. These hunters required a blazing fast, highly efficient metabolism. They couldn't afford to store fat. They needed instant energy to chase prey and escape predators. From dawn to dusk, their metabolism had to be in overdrive just to keep them alive. So we have these two opposing metabolic mechanisms, both deeply ingrained in our genetic code. They created a balance that was crucial for our species' survival over thousands of years. Now, here's the problem. Our world has changed dramatically, but our genes haven't caught up. We have abundant food, yet our bodies are still operating on outdated software, so to speak. While some lucky individuals have inherited that hunter's metabolism and can eat whatever they want without gaining weight, most of us are stuck with the fat-storing survival metabolism. What's ironic is that this survival metabolism is what's actually leading to our demise today. And in our modern world of plenty, this is a curse, not a blessing. Your body doesn't care about looking good in a swimsuit. It thinks that extra fat is helping you survive. Now, we can't change our genes, but, and this is important, you can override them instantly every single day. This is where the metabolic fat-melting coffee trick I'm about to share comes in, because it will allow your body to stop storing fat and start burning it instead. For the past decade, my team and I have been leading what is considered the biggest privately funded metabolic research project ever undertaken. We've been exploring something called the metabolic multiplier effect, or MME for short. MME is a fancy scientist term, but the concept is simple. There are certain nutrients that, when combined, multiply the effectiveness of the other, producing fat loss results far beyond what you would achieve if you took them on their own. The one thing we were missing: a way to deliver these nutrients that would naturally awaken the genes that control metabolic rate and metabolic efficiency. We tested waters, all types of waters, regular, distilled, seltzer. We tested all types of teas. We even tested juices. But the one delivery system that showed promise was, you guessed it, coffee. For years, we scientists have been obsessed with coffee. It has over 1,000 different compounds that affect your body, and we've only recently begun to understand its undeniable fat-melting potential when used properly. Now, I won't bore you with the scientific details. The important thing to know is that your morning coffee can be more than a pick-me-up. It can quite literally help flip a switch in your genes, igniting your metabolism and helping your body burn fat faster. But remember, your morning coffee is simply a delivery system. It's the match that ignites the fire, and what keeps the furnace burning throughout the day is what you put in your coffee. In other words, you need the right fuel to add to that fire to really get it roaring. We tore through thousands of scientific studies looking for natural ingredients that could work with any type of coffee to boost metabolism. We weren't looking for quick fixes or dangerous stimulants. We wanted safe, natural ingredients that could work with your body, not against it. So the next time you're drinking your favorite brew of coffee, remember, you'll be setting the stage for potentially transforming your body's fat-burning capabilities, but only if you add these 6 all-natural ingredients to your coffee. The first is a curious little ingredient called chlorogenic acid. You can find it in your coffee beans. The only problem is that it gets destroyed when the coffee beans are roasted, so we never get to experience its amazing metabolic benefits. But here's where it gets interesting. Studies show that when you extract chlorogenic acid from the coffee bean and you add it back into your coffee after it's brewed, The result is 3 times faster weight loss and more than double your calories burned for the day. The second ingredient is a plant the Japanese have been using for centuries called Camellia sinensis. Studies show that this curious little plant helps kick your metabolism into overdrive, helping people lose an average of 30 pounds in mere months. In fact, the data shows that by taking Camellia sinensis even on its own, women tend to drop at least 3 dresses within 3 months, while men flattened their beer bellies and trimmed their waistlines by 17%. Both men and women in the study showed marked improvements in blood pressure, blood sugar, and even reduced their cholesterol by 50 to 100 points, with one woman going from a concerning 328 cholesterol down to a healthy 190 in mere weeks. Next up, we have chromium. This metabolic multiplier is a fat loss cheat code that allows your body to convert carbs into energy instead of storing them as fat. In other words, when you add chromium to your morning coffee, you can eat all the pizza, pasta, and French fries you want without putting on a single pound, because chromium will break down all the carbs in the foods you eat and shuttles them to your furnace to be burned as energy. In fact, chromium is even being used by my colleagues to help reduce the risk of diabetes. Then we have L-carnitine, an amino acid that studies show boosts fat burning by over 400%. Now, when we combined these 3 metabolic multipliers and poured them into a cup of coffee, the results were mind-blowing. We're talking about increasing metabolism speeds by 500% and efficiency by 514%, which is simply unheard of. And even though these metabolic fat loss results were unprecedented, we didn't stop there. Our team wanted to ensure that this nutritional formula would be the single most effective fat-burning blend, one that could be combined with any type of coffee, creating the most optimal mode of fat burning with as little effort as possible. And after an additional 2,200 logged hours of metabolic multiplier research and hundreds of hours of testing our hypotheses under a microscope, we found one more ingredient that took our original formula to a whole new level. It's an amino acid found in Japanese matcha tea leaves called L-theanine, along with 4 additional metabolic igniting ingredients that do something quite remarkable. You see, not everyone enjoys drinking coffee. So our aim with our initial testing was to eliminate those annoying side effects coffee has on some folks: the jitters, stress, anxiety, racing heart. Through our initial testing, we saw all of these decrease significantly. Even cholesterol and blood pressure improved. We knew we had something revolutionary on our hands. A completely natural formula that could help people burn fat and improve their health in ways we've never seen before. And all you had to do was simply pour it into your morning coffee. But here's the thing. Theory and lab results will only take you so far. We needed to see how this worked in the real world with real people. So while my team was busy sourcing all these metabolic multiplying ingredients direct from suppliers all over the world and cutting out the middleman, I decided to be the first guinea pig. I wouldn't ask you or anyone else to try something I haven't tested myself. That's not how I operate. This isn't about making wild promises or selling you a magic pill. This is about real science, real results, and potentially changing lives, including yours. So I took some samples home to try for myself. Now, I'm not one for changing my habits easily. My morning coffee is sacred, and I'm particular about it. My initial concern was whether the formula would mess with the taste. To my surprise, it didn't change a thing. My coffee tasted exactly the same. But what happened after, that's an entirely different story. It was subtle at first, but undeniably effective. I felt a steady, calm energy, not the jittery rush you might get from too much caffeine. My mind felt sharp, focused. I was in the zone all day, and here's something interesting. I wasn't as hungry as usual. The afternoon slump I'd gotten used to? Gone. Now I'm a skeptic by nature. After all, as a scientist, it's my responsibility to be skeptical. I thought it could be just a fluke, or my mind was playing tricks on me. But by Friday, I knew something was different. This wasn't just in my head. Because when I woke up on Sunday morning, I noticed my pants were looser, my stomach looked leaner, my face seemed more defined, and the scale confirmed it. I'd lost 7 pounds. Now I want to be clear. I hadn't changed anything else. I wasn't counting calories or hitting the gym. This was purely from adding this formula to my morning coffee. I was so impressed that I immediately sent samples to my brother and sister. Within days, they both called to tell me they were experiencing the same thing. By the end of the week, my 55-year-old brother Bobby dropped 5 pounds, while Lisa, who just celebrated her 48th birthday, saw 8 pounds melt off her body without any effort on her part. Now, I'm not saying this is a miracle. I don't believe in miracles. What I do believe in is science, and in the results you can see and feel. So we sent out more samples to relatives of our team who were in their 30s, 40s, 50s, some even in their 60s, and the feedback we received was nothing short of extraordinary, and honestly beyond what even we had initially predicted. When folks combined our formula with their coffee, not only did they lose fat in the easiest and safest way possible, but they experienced a whole new level of living. They had more energy throughout the day without the usual crash. Their minds were sharper, they felt happier and more creative, their memory improved, they weren't as hungry, and had fewer cravings. Their overall health and immunity got better, and because they were burning more energy throughout the day, they fell asleep faster and slept through the night without waking up every few hours. Folks were losing fat, and I mean significant amounts, without changing their diets, exercise routines, or lifestyles. Both women and men were shedding pounds with the average weight loss hitting 44.5 pounds. And here's where it gets even more impressive. Many folks reported improvements in other key health matters, things like blood pressure and cholesterol. These are the kinds of changes that add years to your life, and all it takes is pouring a tasteless powder into your morning coffee. That's it. No complicated diets, no grueling exercise regimens, just your regular cup of joe with an extra kick. This is why we are thrilled to introduce you Cafe Burn, a powerful, evidence-based tool you will use to take back control of your health and your life. In a world where obesity and diabetes run rampant, where people are tired, stressed, and struggling to get through the day, what we've created here has the potential to change all of that. I couldn't be more proud of our team for their years of sacrifice and long nights away from their families to help develop this revolutionary fat loss formula that, when added to your coffee, fundamentally alters how your body both processes energy and burns fat. Cafe Burn is designed to significantly amplify your metabolic rate and efficiency, allowing you to torch fat faster and for longer from all your problem areas. All you need to do is rip open a packet of Cafe Burn, pour it in your morning coffee, and let science do the rest. That's how easy we've made it to melt fat. And what's really cool is that Cafe Burn is tasteless, so it won't affect your coffee's flavor. Now, I've tried this, my family has tried this, thousands of everyday people have tried it. The results are consistent and, quite frankly, remarkable. Folks ages 30 to 70 are losing stubborn fat, feeling more energetic and improving their health markers across the board, adding years to their lives. Years that dangerous amounts of fat take away from you. Because this isn't about conforming to some unrealistic body image. This is about optimizing your health, increasing your vitality, and taking charge of your well-being. Cafe Burn isn't just another weight loss product. It's a tool that shifts your metabolism to fire on all cylinders, burning 7 times more fat, faster and more efficiently, and using what you eat as fuel instead of storing it as fat. Think about the people you know who seem to eat whatever they want without gaining weight. That's the position you're about to be in. No more guilt about what you eat, no more constant worry about your weight. Instead, you could be getting healthier and leaner every single day. Cafe Burn is 100% natural, vegetarian, non-GMO, and gluten-free. There are no fillers, no preservatives, no artificial colors, and no stimulants. It's been proven safe with 0 side effects. It's made right here in the USA in a facility that meets the highest standards of cleanliness and quality. We even have third-party labs test every batch to ensure it meets our strict safety standards, and using it couldn't be simpler. It dissolves instantly in your coffee, doesn't change the taste, and works with any type of coffee or additives you prefer, like sugar, milk, cream, or half and half. What would it be worth to you to finally have a solution that actually works? To have the healthy body you've always wanted? To be able to enjoy your favorite foods without guilt? To never have to worry about dieting or depriving yourself again? To have your family and friends look at you in amazement at the positive changes you've made? This isn't about vanity. This is about taking control of your health, your body, and your life. It's about freeing yourself from the constant battle with your weight and the guilt that comes with it. Can you put a price on that kind of transformation? I know I couldn't. The value of such a change goes beyond mere numbers. Now, I know what you're thinking. This must cost a fortune. But here's the truth. It's going to be far less than you're probably expecting. I've been where you are. I know what it's like to feel trapped in a body that seems to be working against you, to watch your health and self-esteem slip away no matter how hard you try to hold on to them. It's a hellish experience, and I don't want anyone to suffer through it unnecessarily. My team and I have dedicated our lives to this field. Many worked 12-hour days. They sacrificed family time, personal commitments, and sleep month after month, energized by a shared vision of a nation healed of its obesity epidemic. And let me tell you, breakthroughs like this, they are incredibly rare. Even more rare are solutions that work better than promised. But that's exactly what we're offering here. We believe we have a moral obligation to share this discovery with as many people as possible. We won't let price be a barrier to the change you wish to see in your life. That's why, even though we should be charging $197 for a 30-day supply of Cafe Burn, just to cover the costs of making this revolutionary formula, I'm not going to do that. Instead, you can get a 30-day supply for just $79. Yes, you heard that right, $79. But here's the thing. Research shows that to get the best results, you should be taking Cafe Burn consistently for at least 90 to 180 days. In other words, the longer you use it, the more fat loss you'll see, transforming your metabolism for long-term health. So right here on this very page, I'm offering you a special opportunity. You can secure a 180-day or 90-day supply at an even deeper discount. When you choose the 180-day supply, I'll even cover the shipping costs for you. Now let me be clear. I can only guarantee this pricing for today because we're constantly facing challenges sourcing these high-quality ingredients, and our suppliers sent word that the cost of these ingredients are set to increase on our next order. Additionally, because so many folks are taking advantage of our best deal, 180-day supply package, we tend to sell out fat, which is why I strongly recommend you take advantage of our bulk packages while they're still available. In other words, you'll never find Cafe Burn cheaper than right now. You won't find it in stores or on Amazon. Cafe Burn is only available through this website. This is a one-time payment with no hidden fees or subscriptions. If Cafe Burn is still in stock, you'll see options below this video. Choose your package and click Add to Cart. You'll be taken to our secure order page where you will complete your purchase, and we will promptly ship your order in discreet packaging straight to your door. I'm confident that you're about to experience more profound, life-changing results than anything you've ever tried before, but I'm not just going to promise you that. I'm going to guarantee it. If you try Cafe Burn and it doesn't turn out to be the best decision you've ever made, or if you change your mind for any reason, just let us know within the next 180 days, and we'll refund every penny, no questions asked. That means you are covered for 6 full months, the time it would take to use up all 6 tubs in our best deal package. In other words, Cafe Burn is a 100% risk-free. Over 3 million people have entrusted my team and I over the last few years to help deliver results with our breakthrough formulations, because here's the honest truth. No amount of dieting or exercise you've tried up until now has addressed the real problem: your slow, inefficient metabolism. That's why nothing has worked the way you wanted it to. But today, you've found the right path forward, the one you've been hoping for. Now, the way I see it, you have 2 choices. One, you can continue doing the same song and dance, or you can choose a new approach, one that allows you to fix the root cause of your struggles. If you choose not to, and you want to continue down the same path you've been on, I won't stop you. But you know where that path leads. What's ahead of you is what's behind you. And whether you realize it or not, the fat loss will become even more frustrating. It will become more difficult with each passing day, because as you age and slow down, so will your metabolism. And when that happens, fat will take more time and effort to get rid of. And at that point, it's not even worth it, because it's pretty much impossible to get rid of and will lead to all sorts of health complications downstream. Again, if that's what the life you want, I won't stop you. But since you made it this far, something tells me that's exactly what you don't want. You want more out of life, and you deserve more out of life. You deserve to enjoy your favorite foods when you feel like it, without worry. You deserve boundless energy, beaming with confidence, and you deserve a leaner, healthier, and more attractive version of yourself. The version that positively impacts your relationships with your loved ones and most importantly, the relationship you have with yourself. John Lennon once said, "Life passes you by while you're busy planning." Don't let your life pass you by while you're trying to lose weight the hard way, because now you no longer have a problem. Now you have a solution. But that solution comes with a choice. The choice to either ignore everything we just talked about and continue taking the hard path in life, or you can choose to take everything I just showed you and use Cafe Burn to boost your metabolism, melt fat, increase your energy and life expectancy. And all it takes is adding 1 packet of Cafe Burn to your morning coffee each morning. The choice is yours and yours alone. And there's absolutely no pressure here. The decision is yours. But just know that this decision you make right now, whether you realize it or not, is going to decide the rest of your life. One you will look back on and realize that this very moment was the moment that changed everything for you. And remember, you're not risking anything here. All the risk is on me, because remember, if you're not happy for any reason whatsoever, or no reason at all you have to do is let me know, and I'll personally see to it you are fully refunded every single penny. No questions asked. Think about it. If I'm wrong, you're out a few minutes of your time and a quick email to cancel. But what if I'm right? I'm not asking you to buy anything. All I'm asking you to do is try. I'm not asking you to say yes. I'm asking you to say maybe, just maybe, for 180 days. That gives you 6 full months to see if Cafe Burn works for you, which is another reason we encourage folks to grab our best deal 6-tub package for maximum savings. Cafe Burn has worked for over 3 million men and women before you. And if it doesn't work, then you don't pay, and you keep everything free of charge. This is your choice. A month from today, you can be nothing more than 30 days older. Or you can be on your way to taking back your body, your health, your life. Your quality of health and your life could be going way up, all while the number on the scale could be going way down. The important thing to remember is that you risk nothing here and stand to gain everything. So the real question is, how can you want to lose fat and not do this? You already made the mistake of believing the diets would help. Don't make another one by doing something life-changing while you still have the chance. This decision isn't just a decision you are making now. You're making this decision for the rest of your life because from now on, every time you look in the mirror, you'll think back to this video. Will you find yourself filled with regret because you passed up the opportunity to do something while you still had time? Or will you be enjoying the stress-free, happy life you always wanted? All because you made the choice right now to permanently stop the cravings for good while you still have the chance. I ask you, if you don't do it now, when it's this easy, when will you do it? Now is the time, right now, when it's clear to you what's at stake and it's fresh in your mind. Now is the time to do the right thing for you and for your future. You already made it this far. We both know you're serious. Now's the time to prove it. Not to me, not to anyone else, but to yourself. I believe in you. Do you believe in you? You watch this video. You've seen it work for me. You've seen it work for others. You know it will work for you. The choice you make below, it's not just a choice. It's your escape plan. It's you breaking the chains and finally saying, enough is enough. This fat on my body will no longer control how I live my life. Choose your money savings package below, complete your order on the next page, and I will have a special surprise waiting for you on the other side that I can't publicly talk about here. Something that will take everything I just told you and do it for you, but for even longer. Something you will have to see to believe. As someone who has dedicated his life to helping others, I truly hope that this is the path you choose to experience right now while you still can. This has been Matthew Miller, and I can't wait to hear your success story with Cafe Burn.